So this episode is something different, something new. We've never done quite this before. This is a coaching session I had with my coach, Michael McDonald, who, if you've listened to the podcast, probably for any decent amount of time at this point, you've heard him on several episodes. And I was definitely not planning to share this conversation. Like, I was just in a coaching session being coached in a very new wobbly discovery phase with this emergent fire energy that's coming through me. And as I listened back to the session, as I listened back to all my coaching sessions, I was hearing things in our conversation where I was like, oh, I imagine this would be really helpful for a lot of other people. Like, I know so many other humans and women in particular right now who are having the same kinds of questions I'm having, who are asking the same kinds of things and wanting to be used for such a time as this, who have this call and pull and feel on their hearts, on their souls that no, I came here. My soul came here for this time in human history and I want to be well used. And this includes me and Michael exploring. And yeah, it's very unedited, truly behind the scenes, which is so much more of where we're wanting and intending for the direction of this podcast to go. So much more behind the scenes, the raw, the messy, the wobbly, the us being in our process, other people being in their processes, and sharing the fullness in all the realms of truth and movement as they're happening. So I hope that this is helpful and of service. And yeah, it's from the wobbly place and the cool emergent discovery that happens from within that. Okay, enjoy. Kevin's grounded masculine safety meets a weird realm-bending permission slip.
And Britta's like a wise and witchy Mary Poppins.
Yeah, it's better than therapy.
This stuff is way better than therapy.
It's so much better.
Yeah.
So much better than therapy.
It's better than therapy.
Better than therapy.
Yeah, I think it's still the in my business, what is wanting to happen now, given more direction on a bigger world change channel and no idea what that's going to look like. And also, yeah, one way it could look is I'm well, I could just aim to work with more people who are having impact in that way, because my desire has been to support people who are having a bigger influence and impact in the world. And it's that is one way to do that. It doesn't have to be celebrity in the traditional sense, although it could be, but people who genuinely want to change the world in a more beautiful world direction. So that feels inspiring. I think I've thought it, but not fully said it out loud yet. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's an accident that one of your clients that just signed up is suddenly more interested in impact.
I know. It was great. She started messaging me. She's like, so what if I told you that what I think I actually want to be doing and using a lot of our work for is this?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, uh-huh. And I was like, it is so funny you mentioned that, and I'm like, well, I'm excited,
Mm-hmm.
just very selfishly and personally. I am very excited.
Yeah. And I'm personally excited that you want to have an impact and that you have clients who want to have an impact as well, because I'd like to have an impact through the work that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Though I'm quite clear I'm not at all interested in doing a political movement myself anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. How much are you following Epstein file stuff right now? I guess that and then ICE, kind of two big, things. And
yeah, I'm reading a bunch of the news and dipping in and hear whenever there's something particularly dramatic, and I feel bad about it while I'm checking the news and it's just oh, it's even worse than I thought, and it's okay.
Yeah. Just side tangent. How are you making sense of all of that?
It makes sense because that's what humans do when they're confused. There isn't a limit for how horrible humans might be to each other. coming from misunderstanding. Like, we might end the human race from innocent misunderstanding.
Yeah.
So it's a
wild possibility to see.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
sometimes I'll dwell on it and feel bad, but I feel really hopeful, because no matter how bad it gets, no matter how much damage is done to like humanity in the world, like the principles still hold. The Tao is still there, and it's always available. Like, I've gotten over the temptation for like, well, if it's really bad, then I shouldn't pay attention to wisdom. I should react, basically. I've been able to reverse that temptation that like almost all of us have been trained in. Like, oh, if it's really bad, that's all the more reason to actually really connect deeply with greater intelligence.
Yeah.
It's not time to react, no matter how bad it gets. It's the same reason that when you're in the middle of a crisis, people aren't going around telling everyone to panic, because then they'll act more sensibly if they're panicking. So I have a tendency to slow down as the world is blowing up and falling apart. And it's kind of fascinating being alive in this time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll get caught up a little bit. I've got the advantage of not being as personally affected, so I'm not caught up as much. But I am aware that I want to be of service to people. And most of the people who are around me are the people who are unnecessarily freaking themselves out so much that they're not helping anyone. They're just making it worse. So trying to calm them down.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, it's just like, it's wild to me. But okay, 3 thoughts at once. 2 thoughts at once. One, just this question of like how to even make sense of this given the nature of information these days. And it's like, I don't know how much of what I'm being presented is true. And then even if all of this is true, which is my sense, then it's like, well, how much else is going on back there? Like, what else is just like the lack of capacity to know, given the nature of like AI and tech these days. And like, we're already at the point where you can look at a video and not fully tell if it's real or not. Like, that's just wild. And so both this like how to act, yeah, when the information I'm receiving, I'm like, okay, I'm operating as if this is true, but I actually don't know. And like checking like where my knowing in that sense is coming from. So I can be like, oh, it's wisdom, but it's like, well, it's wisdom because I believed 12 things to get to this point, versus like, yeah, and it's just interest. I don't know. It's kind of like an interest, like how to orient in this whole realm. And then it's like I look at some of my friends who were deep in conspiracy stuff like 10 years ago, and I'm like, they were all fucking right. Like, they were all the ones who were like, there is some weird satanic stuff that all these people in power are in on, and child abuse and torture. They were like, that we know, like, enough people. They're like, and I'm like, all of them in on it together. Like, come on, guy. Like, I'm sure there are a couple of evil people, but it's not like this coordinated thing. Nope, they're looking more and more sane to me right now. So I'm like, whoa. Yeah, that's one of the.
Yeah. One of the things that is feeling more clear to me. It's not an answer for like what to do, but like one of the ways I think about what's happening, from Ian McGilchrist's work. So I'm sure you're extra familiar with it from working with Fawn as well. Like where the dominance of the left brain is like amplifying even more with sort of like everyone being more reactive and post-truth and social media manipulation and AI now, where people are just like more and more in their left brain. And like, so like the world much more out of balance in that direction. So it's all the more important to have access to wisdom, to have access to well-being. Like it's the missing thing, like it's the missing ingredient. Is having access to the feeling, having access to wisdom and intuition, having access to common sense. That's slowing down, paying attention. Because that knows, even when you're in the midst of just nothing but lies, or where you have no idea what's truth, what's lies, then the seeking, the sort of like the linear seeking, like, okay, of this, what is true, becomes a much less helpful. That's like that's starting to go away even. But you still have a feel for things. You still have a feel for like what's really humanity. What's really underneath all this. So there's going to be a lot more value of authenticity and presence and real humanity. And a lot more discounting, a lot more like sort of both noise and distrust. The same way that a lot of people like started to distrust social media. There's just going to be a distrust of information. And yeah, it's probably going to be incredibly destructive. Because most people are like really low consciousness and going lower as a result of this imbalance. But like we're tapped into something that is so important and is going to be so needed, and it's probably it'll start to be more recognized. The less that they trust what like the old ways of linear thinking and facts and logic and evidence and data and videos and such. They still need something to trust in. So them getting a feel for that, like that's something that you can help with.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Here's this. Do you think people can be like living in right brain dominance, for lack of a better word, like right brain, like leadership, like hanging out in the feeling, like connected to well-being and wisdom, and do hurtful things to other people? And like to what degree? Like, could somebody abuse a child if they're hanging out in that? I think I'm having this kind of like existential deconstruction level. 'Cause like I'm prone to be like, "No, of course not." Like, but then I'm like, "Well, I don't know, maybe that's just."
Um, I imagine like the intention wouldn't be there. The harm could easily be there. I've heard it pointed out like you can't exist without killing. Like there's always some cost. So yeah, and yeah, just because you're balanced doesn't mean that you like there's no harm in the world. If you look at nature, yeah, nature can be pretty fierce. There's a lot of harm within nature. So I think it's something like the harmony is something that transcends violence. So there's still violence. Like I think that might be one of the problems, where some people sort of like anything but violence. But then there's a fragility that's created in those systems. It's sort of there's a shadow of violence created. Yeah, it's sort of like being connected to wisdom doesn't guarantee that what you seek out to do is going to succeed. It does seem to work out significantly better though. So it's not control. So I think there can still be lots of harm, but I think there'd be significantly less. And there'd be more of an upward spiral rather than a downward spiral.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. I mean, according to Avatara or the Trans-Himalayan teachings, I think it was like around last year was like the center point of crisis in the world. Where it's just like, yep, basically around this time, just everything goes to shit. In order to then come back together over, I forget the time frame, like 50 years or something, in order to come back to a next golden age and heal. Like, I don't think the world is actually like just dissolving into chaos permanently. I think it's just a very destructive, yeah, it's like very destructive medicine. It's like the world undergoing chemotherapy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I somewhat wonder whether the human race will exist. The physical world, that's going to exist for a long time, till like the sun goes supernova or something.
Yeah, I think that it's funny. Okay, so there's like I feel like a tie in here for me with like winning strategy stuff because so much of my winning strategy is like it has the flavors of just like positive, you know? Like I just like everything's magical and
Yeah.
easy and great. And this is like the first time I'm like, it feels like seeing more lines of possibility. Whereas like I've seen a lot of lines of possibility in a direction of like like magic, goodness, yay, things get better. Yeah, there's some stuff that goes on, but we just focus our attention here. And now I'm just seeing like also, this could end in, like, the AI drones us all down in 5 years, or, like, these terrible people take control and only humans are left around to be sex slaves, or, yeah, a golden age births, or, like, oh my god, we figure out how to use this technology amazingly and consciousness awakens on a whole like, just more but I'm like, "Oh, no," some of the, like, "Wow, that would really not be my preference and could end in all of humanity or my death or somebody close to me or a lot of people," I'm, like, seeing those lines of possibility, not as, like, this is what's gonna happen, but just like, "Oh, no, that's a possibility," in a way that I think I was blind to before. And so it's very like rigid pattern dissolving, which I'm sure is good for my evolution and also very uncomfortable. But I think there's something there of like I think I'm like recalibrating to like, okay, how to see those as what they are, possibilities without getting stuck in or like hanging out in fear or just like distress. Because it is made up right now, but it is like but that is a direction it could go, you know? It's like the plane could go
Yeah.
that way or that way or that way, like, these are all options, it can fly wherever it wants,
Mhm.
and not just like, "But we said we're going to Florida, so it's definitely" it's like, "No, the pilot could take us wherever."
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, it's like grace is the word that comes to mind.
Mm,
There's something I love about that word,
mm,
where it's like grace speaks to the capacity, the choice to like be with any circumstances.
Mhm.
It's a version of loving what is, and it has that feeling. That one of the things that I also like about grace is it has that feeling of being connected to the intelligence of the universe.
Mm.
It's not like coping with the terrible situations.
Mm.
It's not, oh well. It's like even like there's a kind of beauty even in the terrible things.
Mm.
Just like there's a kind of beauty in mortality.
Mm.
And getting like none of this is evidence that that there isn't well-being.
Mhm.
And none of this is evidence that there isn't wisdom. It's more evidence of free will. It's more evidence of how valuable it is to actually understand, to like how valuable it is to have better physics, how valuable it is to be higher consciousness.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it might be a calling to go forth and help,
Mm. Mhm.
but not from a need, but rather than because you can.
Mm. Mhm. Mhm. Mm. Mhm.
Mm.
One thing I'm thinking, like the question I said earlier of like, could people do like, I don't mean like cause harm, but like, I just don't see how you could like hurt little kids if you're living in your right, or like maybe in a different, like, different
Yeah,
like moral code of being a human. Like, it looks to me like that's like a, because I know one of the things of like when people are over indexed in their left brain, you start to like, you don't even always see people as people.
mhm.
It's like object, body part, this, that, like it's
Yeah, you would need to
versus
see as
like,
other.
yeah,
And that's
versus
like
like,
that's a left
that's
brain attachment.
me. Yeah.
That's a egoic attachment. It's like, okay, like I'm this or we're this, and those are
Mhm.
not, that's
Mhm.
not me. That's not
Mhm.
us. That's different.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would need to be running.
No. Weird.
Yeah,
Weird.
like thought is powerful. It's powerful enough to create the whole Epstein thing.
Yeah. Ugh. Yep.
And it's simply misuse of that power.
Mhm.
And because thought feels real and we haven't been taught that our reality is made up of thought,
Mhm.
we tend to spiral wherever we
Mhm.
believe something.
Mhm. Yeah, so weird. It's like got me thinking, like, it's like, what's it like to be those people?
Mm.
Like Epstein and whoever was involved in like the most intense parts of it, you know? Like, what was it like to be you like, how yeah, I mean, I guess it is some of the left brain thing. It's like you've gotta be, like, so intensely, like, left brain dominant to be able to go about your normal life and be, like,
Mhm,
photographed and connected to celebrities and at these amazing parties, da, 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 and tons of people don't know
mhm,
the depth of what you're doing or any of it, some of you know? And then just like,
mhm.
like, that's, like, so scary to me. Like, I'm like, "That's
Yeah,
wild." Like,
yeah,
and you can just, like, cut off this part of yourself and like, "Oh, that's over there." Like, yeah, like horror movie stuff.
yeah, like, how much fear would need to be in there, and so thoroughly that they might not even think of it as fear. It's just reality.
Mhm.
Mm,
Yeah. What do you I mean, you know me pretty well and, like, you know this, like, I trust your grounding.
mm,
I think it's like I feel confused of how to interact with all of this because it's like I noticed and it's like, okay, well, how much of it is just like me getting really caught up in thought and like,
mhm.
well, that's not helpful versus like, no, like actually let my heart break and feel it, and be like more connected to humanity.
Yeah, there's a felt difference, like, feeling the difference between allowing yourself to be impacted and holding on to the impact. I think it's tied to, like, allowing energy to move,
Mhm.
but not holding on to the story.
Mm.
Right?
Mhm.
Letting circumstances be neutral,
Mhm.
and things that hit, that becomes medicine for you.
Mhm.
It's almost like every time you go check the news, basically you're drinking some ayahuasca.
Mhm.
So prepare yourself accordingly,
Yeah.
and don't be surprised.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, it's weird these days because I don't even like check the news that much. Like it's like it started because like
mm.
Instagram. And I'm like, I was trying to watch funny videos, like entertained before bed.
Uh-huh.
Um, so different boundaries around that because apparently that tool does not work how it used to work.
Yep. Social media is surfing up most of that stuff coming from yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, "How about this horrible thing? How about this
Mhm.
horrible thing? How about this
Mhm.
horrible thing? You're not informed. Look at all the horrible things."
Yeah.
Um, and people who are doing that don't realize that they're creating more suffering by doing that.
Mm.
They think that it's like, no, like, that everyone should see this, everyone should share this, and everyone should spread this, without realizing that they are creating harm also by spreading it.
Mm.
There is the value of being informed, there's the value of knowing what's going on,
Mhm.
but it's, like, intentionally like, there's this backwards belief of, like, well, if we make enough people feel really bad about this,
Mhm.
maybe that will solve it.
Mhm.
And there's a little bit of help in that, like, just there's sort of, like, creating the collective outrage.
Mhm.
That gets a little bit moving, but it's really crude.
Mm.
It's a very crude, very expensive way of impacting the world.
Mhm.
And at least in my bubbles, it just tends to have people get overwhelmed and do nothing.
Mm.
So they're not
Mhm.
actually helping,
Yeah.
or just causes them to spread it to everyone else. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, I have cancer. You should all have cancer too.
Mhm.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like the unknown of it for me, it feels like such like a whole new territory to be going into and exploring where it's like, I don't wanna do that, and I don't wanna be, like, spiraling myself into, like, freaking out and, just creating my own internal hell as a result of stories I've heard about hell has gotten created for other people. Like, that seems unhelpful, and I do want to be in, like, what actually makes a difference, like, that conversation, like, what actually
Yeah, like, what to attend
changes
to.
things. Yeah.
One of the things that came to mind is it's something that Mr. Rogers said ages
Mm.
ago. Look for the helpers.
Yeah.
Remember that was brought up when there was the Boston Marathon bombing, like,
Mhm.
that advice, look for the helpers, because one of the things that happened there is, like, look at all these people who are helping.
Mhm.
'Cause there's the version of "What do I do?" which comes from a helpless place, like, given that I'm helpless, what do I do?
Mhm.
And then there's like, "Ooh, how can I help?"
Mm.
Like,
Mhm.
yeah, and that's more of a CTI project, like, how can I help?
Mhm.
What comes to mind, rather than there being a right answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've got a lot of capacity to help, but there might not be as much of a logical knowing of what's the right thing to do to help.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. And I also can't did I say this on our last call? I might have. I said to somebody recently, like, I have 0 interest in just, like, doing something to feel better about myself.
Yeah.
'Cause I see so much of that where it's like, "Well, I gotta do I'm gonna donate," 'cause then it'll almost like, I feel guilty and I don't wanna feel guilty, so I'm going to I feel guilty, but I that's, like, a common thing, like, I feel bad and I don't wanna feel bad, so I'll just, like, donate the money or attend a rally or go to a thing, and I have 0 interest in that, like, I wanna do something that actually helps. Like,
Yeah.
I really don't care about I know how to make myself feel better. Like,
Mhm.
it's just stop thinking about it. It's not I don't have to
Mhm.
do a thing for that, you know what I mean? Um, yeah, so it's like that. It was like in some ways easier to take action in any kind of like socio change realm when it was just about like make myself feel like I'm doing my part. Like,
Yeah, what most people are doing are just not gonna be very healthy for you.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
You got a lot of examples of things not to do.
Mhm.
And also, like, another version of that question is, from where do you wanna be doing?
Mm.
Like, who do you wanna be?
Mhm.
Who do you wanna be in the world?
Mm.
Where, like, what do you want to radiate out into the
Mm.
world, independent of what actions are involved?
Mhm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it's very much like in the vein of magic, goodness, like, no, 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 like, there's something really beautiful possible here. It's
Mm,
like that simultaneously with a, like it feels very, like, witch energy in both directions, just, like, good witch, and then also, like, "No, we're not tolerating this." And I, like, feel it in all the women I know on a different level, like, all these women have been we're like, "We're doing our magical things in the corners of the world," like, there's something about this information coming out now where it's like, everybody I know is like, "Fuck no, that's the line." Like, that's the line, and I'm a no to that happening, like, on this scale in my lifetime. Like, absolutely not. So just, I don't know, some, like, boundary's been crossed, no. Like,
mhm.
so, like, what is that way of being? It's like, I guess, power, clarity.
Sounds like a witch activist.
Yeah, it's like I've been saying to my friends, I'm like, "I feel like we're in, like, the great witch awakening of our time." Like, everybody who's been like, "I do this in this corner of the world," is like, "I hear the call, they're ringing the bell, what do we need to do?" Like, there are enough of us. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you can bring them together.
Mhm.
Um, but those qualities, like that you're a stand for magic, that you're a stand for goodness,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
what What if just
And
like
I think
knowing
it's
that
truth. It's something that's like truth.
truth?
Truth is, I think, somewhere in there too, of like, yeah, like some truth, clarity. Yeah, like things being clear and not hidden. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a way of being.
Mm,
So it's not really a question of what to do
mm,
as much as like letting yourself stand there,
mm,
and anything that you do from there, even doing nothing from there, is creating more of that.
mm, mhm,
I think it's being like really conscious about where you're going to create from, where you're going to act from,
mm,
because where it's not a reaction to, it's not against the terrible
mhm,
things,
mhm,
because then you've just got to fight.
mhm,
Then just got like red versus blue going on.
mhm,
This is like, what do you want to create?
mm,
What wants to be created here?
mhm,
What's ready to be created?
mhm. Yeah, yeah, it's like I'm seeing more how it's like, oh, I haven't, like, looked in that direction as much. It's like, okay, so what is the it's like I feel the clear, like, no, like, okay, so
Mhm.
not this, like,
Mhm.
but the yeah, like, I'm seeing the value now in, like, brainstorming more, yeah, with my friends, with my community, with Kevin, like, with people I'm in conversation. It's like, well, what yeah, what do we want? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, we're
Like you
clear
might be
we're a
able,
no to this, so it's like, what
yeah, you can
yeah.
draw some people together with your reaction, but you need to find a creation.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's one of the views on the political spectrum where there's just a lack of good leadership, or just
Mhm,
there's just a few good examples of leadership.
mhm,
Rather than this is terrible, these people are bad, these people are bad. It's like, well,
mhm,
have better people.
mhm.
Have people who stand for something so powerfully, so clearly, so inspirationally that it just overshadows bad leaders.
Mm, mhm.
Yeah, if you're positioned against, it's still about, and it still sort of amplifies
Mhm,
that.
mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I notice it's like as I even just, like, start to look in the direction of, like, yeah, what and maybe even independent from, like, what do I wanna create? Like, what would I like to be created? Like,
Yeah.
just, like, take my
Yeah.
personal self out of it a bit. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, just, like, l let humans love each other. I feel like this whole system is ridiculous. Like, the whole thing is like I feel like
Yeah.
I could put any 10-year-old in a room and be like, "Come up with a better education system, come up with a better government system, come up with a better political s" the 10-year-olds I know could be like, "What if it was like this?" Well, that sounds simple. Um, yeah. I mean, I think what I would actually love to be created is, like I don't know fully what's on the other side of this, but it's like, okay, what do we need to do to get enough people together to be like, clearly these systems are not working. What if we start over? Like, let's start with like a blank slate brainstorming and creating and then go from there. And then, yeah, that would be wildly disruptive to nations of people if the systems collapsed overnight. But like, we might be headed there anyway with tech and like just everything. But, like, I think it's like that's what I want. I want, like, humanity to, like, be in a conversation of, like, we all know these aren't working and they suck. And, like, even the people they're, like, working for still don't love them. Like, they're not nobody's winning here. like, so some, like, yeah, creating from nothing, blank slating, like, what's, like, the reimagined, like, even just, like, an ability to, like, get to that. To be like, "We're infinitely creative beings. We can for surely come up with something better than this." That's one thing. That's, like, the first thing I feel genuine, like, "Oh, that's part of what I want." I don't know what gets created on the other side of that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a beautiful exploration.
Mhm.
Like, what's a system that does work?
Yeah.
You could just, like, this could just do a large scale the power of systems on this. Like, uncover
Mhm.
the current systems.
Right. Uh-huh.
Then then create another system to try.
Uh-huh.
Try it out, see what outcomes you get.
Yeah.
Like, Burning Man is sort of an example of that experiment.
Mhm.
Like, here's a different system. Let's run an
Mhm.
experiment. Let's see what happens.
Mhm.
There's various There's different countries doing different things different ways. There's the
Mhm.
various conscious communities and, like, those conscious cities here and there where
Mhm.
they have, like, their own ways of experimenting with reinventing culture.
Mm. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, even more important than what you create or what you want to be created is remembering that you're a creator.
Mm.
Yeah, like, if I were to have a shift, I mean, I probably would even rather I think it's probably just because I don't think it's possible, like, convince the entire world to, like, "Here's the new design, everyone follow this."
Mhm.
Just get like, all 8 billion people or whatever on board. It's like,
Mm.
I'd rather them know like, just switch from reacting to creating.
Mm.
Just go through that fundamental Steve Chandler distinction. Like,
Mm.
I wanna just move everyone from victim to owner.
Mm. Mhm.
Like, life is not happening to you, you're in charge, you have
Mhm.
responsibility. What do you wanna create?
Mhm. Yeah. I think it's interesting. This is so I've never felt this way in my life. It's just, "Ooh, this is, like, so much it's so new." I'm like, "What is
Cool.
this thing?" Um, yeah, I just have so little interest in being involved in, like, other people's messes, and that's, like, what the whole system at large feels like to me. I'm like, "I didn't make this or sign up to this or agree to when did I agree to this, and how am I legally bound under these structures I didn't agree to? Like, what?" You know?
Uh-huh.
And just, like, look I'm like, "I don't wanna touch that thing." Like, ooh. Uh, but then, like, how does change get created if there's not a willingness to touch it?
Yeah. How much responsibility are you willing to take for the
0.
world?
Yeah.
'Cause that's probably gonna be or that's perhaps one way to measure how much impact you could have, how much
Mhm.
responsibility you're willing to take.
Mm.
'Cause if you're not willing to take responsibility, if you stay in, like, "You guys messed this up," and then you're just kind of complaining.
Mm. Mhm. Mhm.
And you can get a bunch of other friends to complain with you, and you'll feel good, and it'll be, like, at least socially healing, but it's not likely to change anyone else.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's almost like instead of with great power comes great responsibility, it's with great responsibility comes great power. What if you take responsibility first? Which is more like, I didn't create this mess, but I'm going to help. I didn't create this mess, but I have the power to make a difference here. And also it's like working that interdependence within humanity. It's just like little I didn't make this mess, but great I of humanity made this mess. So I, as a representative of humanity, am here to clean it up.
Yeah, that feels good. Good and to smaller self, this personality, very annoying, but but good.
Yeah. One of the things I like about it for you is you won't be able to handle this from rigid. Like this is not something that you'll be able to get to preserve your image of yourself. It's not something that you'll be able to get right. It's not something that it's not like a problem that you can fix. Like you won't get to a point where you can check a box and it's done. It's something much more subtle.
Yeah.
And you probably will feel a lot.
Yep. Very weird. Didn't see any of this poll coming.
Like, well, it's like Wednesday, February 25th. No, we're exactly on track.
As the spokespiece of the universe, thank you. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. There is choice. It's one of the things I learned from like many ayahuasca journeys where you've got a lot of choice. You've got a lot of free will in your journey, in your creation. There's both inspiration for like, this is alive for you. This is coming up for you. It's coming up in the world. And there's a lot of choice and wiggle room and such for how much you want to take on. Because there's many ways that you can be in the world. And it's neither right nor wrong what you do with an opportunity. It's like, oh, if you want, you can go into this rabbit hole. And you don't have to. I remember a couple times in Aya journeys where like things would start to come up and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to like heal the whole masculine wound right now. I'm still recovering from the thing I just purged. It's like I'm gonna pause on like that one. Or asking is just like, actually I'd like it to be more gentle tonight, or actually I'm really ready to go for something. It's like, or actually, yeah, I'm like willing to, I'll at least heal the room. It's like, okay, I'll go into like a big one. But there's like a relationship with the intelligence of the universe. So I think part of the inquiry as well is like, how big of a bite do you want to take in changing the world here? Because you've got some say.
Yeah. Like a medium bite? I don't know what that means, but that's what you just said.
A seems to work for me bite.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Rather than I'm going to hide my head in the sand, I'm just gonna crawl into bed and cry, or I'm going to change it all. Somewhere between those.
Yeah, somewhere between those. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And whatever you choose, you'll start having ideas and nudges, opportunities in that direction. I think part of the inquiry is also like, how fast do you want to or are willing to change to transform? Like the caterpillar going into the cocoon. Do they want to do that really quickly? It's like, I want to melt as fast as possible. Just give me the 5-MeO version of this. Or like, okay, I'll sort of dip my toe in.
Yeah. I don't know.
I like that it's new for you.
Yeah.
It's probably just a koan for you.
What is?
The how much responsibility you want to take on.
Yeah. Yep.
It might not even be the you who's thinking about it who will answer that.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah. Pretty sure not.
It'll be apparently.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no clean answers or strategies.
Nope.
Cannot see.
Nothing for the rigid to hold on to.
Nope.
It can be useful later on, but not right now. Not in this stage. This is just
Yeah, it's interesting to watch, like, all the other questions it starts to bring up. I'm like, yeah, like, what does it actually look like to bring people together effectively and impactfully? How do humans make decisions in groups that are genuinely inspired by wisdom, like, as a collective? Like, I feel like I've got it on the one-on-one channel, but not in, like, the, "Okay, how many people do you need to bring?" Because it's like, I think so much of the kinda, like, system I've seen for that is like, well, you get one or a couple people who have a vision, and then they just, like, lead a thing and enroll other people in that. And it's like, well, that's one way, and maybe that is the most effective way, but maybe not. Like, more like, people who I know who talk about, like, matrifocal leaning more, that it's more, like, circular, like, more, yeah, sourcing from the group. And like, how big of a group does that actually work in before it gets just like chaos and
Mhm.
nobody can hear each other and it's just like takes an unending amount of time. Like, yeah, just like all these questions. And I've never thought about these things before. So I've never really cared, Interesting.
Like, how does a group of 10 people work well together? How does a group of 100?
Mm-hmm.
How does like a group of 10,000? How does a city work well together?
Mm-hmm.
How does a small country work well together?
Yeah. Yeah.
What does work well in both current and past systems in the world? Because I notice there's sort of feels a bit reactive to like no, like let's. I I I love the creating from nothing of if we just start from scratch,
Mm-hmm.
but also not dismissing that it's like, well, nothing that has been done in the past is
Mm-hmm.
any good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all tainted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like what I know of capitalism, apparently, like it used to have principles. They used to be like intertwined with common sense and morality.
Mm-hmm.
Then at some point it became like disjointed and it was all about like maximizing money. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just gaming the system.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you're like, yeah, it's like sort of looking for an edge. Like, is there anything that you're afraid that you might need to do or be responsible for, or
Oh my God, probably like a million things. Probably a lot. Like earlier when you asked, like, yeah, how much responsibility are you willing to take? Or one of the questions in that direction. Or like how quick are you willing to dissolve or transform or change? I think that one. I was
Mhm.
like, I just really like my life. I don't want to have to move. Like
Can I just shout no out my window and make
yeah.
everything better?
Right.
Stop it.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I like a lot, if I'm honest.
Mhm.
It's like I really like how things are in my world, my immediate world.
What if you don't need to leave what you like in order to have a huge impact on the world?
Mhm.
Like, what if where you're at, the kind of life that you have, the kind of feeling that you live in, what if that's something that you can bring to the world?
Mhm. Mhm.
So I think there might be an imagining that you need to leave that you need to leave
Mhm.
your way of being and do something and like have another way of being in order to
Mhm.
impact.
Mhm.
What if the world just got more of like what you are?
Yeah, I like that. That's nice. Mhm.
Yeah. And to do that, like at least one of the things in the way is like any thought that you need to leave there
Mm.
in order to impact others.
Mm. Mhm.
Like it's something that I don't fully grasp myself, but it's one of the things that Sid Banks said when he was with other as some of his students, traveling around, doing talks around the world and such. And yeah, he said like he would do more for the world just sitting in his garden than going and doing a bunch of talks.
Mm.
So there's something to that.
Mm.
And it probably especially speaks to the magical portion of where you're coming from as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there is something real there, right? Like with the heart coherence meditation experiments that have been run. Have you
Mhm.
seen those?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Trying to remember who it was. Someone that Lynn often quotes, where you make a difference to the whole because you are the whole.
Mm.
Or, well-known one, be the change you want to see in the world.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's as simple as that?
Mm.
Being the change that you want to see in the world.
Mm.
Because that's different than trying to change the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think some of it, like, just what I keep circling back to is like, yeah, I want to be part of and help create it's really like deeper community. And it doesn't have to all be in person, though it would be cool if some of it was. But like wider reaching community with just powerful people, but like what's here for me right now is like powerful women. I just keep feeling like I just really feel like we're in this what I said earlier, like the great witch awakening of our time and like that, like just being connected to like hundreds or thousands of women who are like connected to their power and grounded, like solid grounding and like yeah, just like aware of our ability to create. It's like I think that's the change I most want to see. Is like which is waking up but in a way that's like grounded.
Is that you want to gather the women who are already there so that they're together? Or is it that you want to bring women to that level?
I think both and.
Okay.
For sure the first one. Yeah.
So probably the women who are on that path, on the way there,
Mhm.
and helping them like those later steps and bringing them together.
Mhm.
Yeah, you could create that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if any woman that you asked said yes, what would you want to create?
Yeah, that's fun. Um, yeah, I think it's like a massive, like a large scale in terms of number of people genuinely involved, like council of like, okay, so we do know we can change this, right? Like, great, what occurs to us to do? Like, I guess just like being in that like larger like council conversation of like, no, we're gonna influence and get some people that like God would want in office, you know? Like,
Mm-hmm.
whoever and whatever God is, but, like, goodness, wisdom, you know, not gonna be starting unnecessary wars or locking up and torturing children. Like, not that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, like, beauty of humanity, like, seeing the beauty and possibility of humanity. Like, get some people like that into leadership or yeah. it's funny, and then I start to go there, and I'm like, "Oh, it just feels like so much. The system is so fucked." But yeah, and, like, maybe it, like, starts on the small scale, but it's, like, yeah, some kind of, like, council of, like, women and, like, some of whom have even, like, existing and larger platforms of, yeah, what's the most effective way we can use, like, the vote of our, like, attention and our energy and our money well in this time, like, in support of the world we actually wanna be a part of. 'Cause I'm just seeing it's like we're all voting with our literally where we spend our money and, like, funding this government and, like, energy, attention, like, we're, like, voting with that constantly, and then we're, like, creating this, and, like, we could do something different. And it's like I want it to be in service of actual change, not just like, "Well, I just don't do that because I don't support it." And like that too, like on the personal level, but it just kind of feels like the recycling thing to me. I'm like, I don't think it's mattering if you recycle or not, man. I'm sorry. Like, do I? Yes. Do I think it's helping? I don't really think it is, unfortunately. But yeah, it starts to get hazy. But
Yeah.
definitely something in there. Like,
Yeah.
gather the witches, like,
Yeah. Um, it sounds like that's part of it, gather the witches.
mhm.
Like, that's one of the pieces. You're not gonna have a full-blown plan because 'cause that'd be,
Yeah,
like, just too the rigid would be too happy about that.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
probably not the thing.
yeah.
But also, like, what creates change?
Mhm. I
What
think it's that. It's like I wanna be in that question with more people. It's
Yeah.
like like more people who I trust, who it's
Mhm.
like and that's why I'm talking to Tia today, I'm talking to my friend Erica today, or this weekend. I have, like, several calls lined up where I was like, "Can we specifically talk about this? I would love to talk to you and you and you." But yeah, like, being in that conversation with people who I respect and trust in the realms of, like, not like you've got it all figured out, not like your grounding's pristine, mine's not either, like but, like, okay, you see a lot more about the truth of how we work as humans and what's possible, and, like, you want like, your heart is for, like, goodness and beauty in this world and freedom, like that. And, like, I wanna be in that exploration, like, with lots of people on the bigger like, on a bigger scale, because I think it's been so many little convert in different ways with friends where we all kinda, like, came to, like, "Yeah, we just, like, don't really, like, engage with that. We're just all gonna do our little things over here, and, here's my and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this," which I think has been the thing. Like, at least for me, it's felt like it's been the thing for, like, the last several years, like, the time. And now it's like, this is just looking like a poor allocation of resources. I think that's really what it is. It's just seeing, like, they're just so much more effective together.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Kevin, did I tell you about our idea of, like, living in more like a soul pod? Tell you about this?
I don't think you've told me about Soul Pod.
Okay. It's just been the word I started using. Um, Kev a couple months ago, he was like, "Isn't it funny that as humans, we just kind of decided at some point that, like, the way we do life is, like, you find your one other human. You find your, like, one other, and that's your mate, and maybe you have kids and maybe you don't, but you live with them and you share finances and you do your life together, and that's your partner, and
Uh-huh.
then, like, he's like, "That's so weird." He's like, "We could have just as easily have come to collectively, like, you find your 6 people, it's like you find your group of 6, like, and independent of
Mhm.
how anybody's romantically or sexually involved, like, whatever, that
Mhm.
can evolve however it wants, but, like, you find your pod of, like, 6, like, or 5 or 10, like, what's more of, like, an ideal,
Mhm.
um, family structure to be, like, living in and, like, orienting towards, and then, like, within a week or 2 after he said that, I went to this retreat hosted by some people who live locally, and it's like it's 5 of them doing that. Not just like, "Oh, we're roommates and we share a house." They're like 3 of them are, like, in, like, a triad relationship, and then it's, like, a couple. but they're all, like, fully in. They're like, "We share finances." Like, they're like, "We do ev we're, like, all doing the
Mhm.
same kind of business and support each other." They created all these, like, I forget what they call it, but, like, they're, like, codes or whatever to, like, govern themselves basically to create, like, and here they're, like, agreements, like, "Here's how we,
Mhm.
like, orient." And
Mhm.
they were like, "Yeah, it's not like, this is my roommate who I'm kind of in community with, but we live in the same house." It's like, "No, we're, like, a
Mm.
family," and just Kev and I watching in our lives, like, how much things have, like, um, accelerated flourish just from having each other. I'm like, what if we had that, but, like, the exponential, like, sixfold of, like, we're living in, like, a big house on land with people and not just, like, everybody has the dream of let's buy land together and, like, okay, well and then but we're still
Mm.
living separately but sharing some, like, land, but, like, no, what if we were actually, like, I'm as committed to these people as I am to my partner?
Mhm.
And so there's been more where Kevin and I are both like, "Wait, I think that's what we want." That just seems like a more impactful way to be humans together. And, like, what does it look like to be the ones who, like, actually do that as opposed to, like, everybody's like, "I wanna buy land with my friends." Like, "Well, we've all been saying this for 20 years," like, you know? Like
And they do it and it all blows up.
right, and then it's
If they when they the people who actually pull it off,
yeah,
it's rare for it to actually work. But yeah,
yeah,
um, yeah, like it's closer to how we worked as in tribes, in
right,
villages. Yeah.
right. Well, and it's like and it looks to me like if there's going to be okay, so this is kinda some of the, like, change question, like, how does change happen? I think it's people actually doing that well, and, like
Mhm.
or if it's, "Gather the witches," like, 1,000 whatever, but, like, um, community like, grounded connection in service of creating something more beautiful, but, like, actually and, like, simply and without dr I know there would be drama at some point, but, like, enough humans together, but, like, without added drama or complication, like, it's just like that I think it just looks like, well, that's what's needed, and
Mhm.
whether it was intentionally orchestrated by anybody or it's just, like, what happened in a left brain dominant world of, like, it's a lot easier to control people who are all in their separate little unit small
Mhm.
unit
Mhm.
because it's like less buoyed by the people who have your back. Yeah.
Yeah. Try it.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a much bigger try it experiment than, like, "Okay, I'll try that in my next conversation." It's like,
Yeah. Or there's like
"What?"
the creating the impossible aspects
Yeah.
of like flirting with the idea, dating the idea, trying it
Uh-huh.
out a bit.
Uh-huh.
Like because in a way, Burning Man is like dating an idea.
Mhm.
Like it hasn't actually changed the world.
Mhm.
It's influenced a lot of people. People have learned a lot from it. Like those
Yeah.
ideas have shifted a lot of things in various cultures and organizations and worlds.
Mhm. Yeah, my brain keeps breaking. I keep, like, going in, like, a direction, like, "Yeah," and then it, like, melts and breaks. So I'm like, "Guess this is how the winning strategy dissolves. It's happening."
Uh-huh.
I'm like, what is the goal? What is I don't know, something in this direction," Like, I like
Yeah.
setting goals that I know that I can execute on my own.
Well, another way to think of this, coming back to like, because before we were talking about like your way of being, so like magical witch, also like truth, clarity,
Mhm.
and what you do and what it looks like flows from that. Same thing could be said for when you're creating a community or a relationship. Like, what's the being of
Mm.
a group?
Mm.
You're going to gather the witches. What's the way of
Mhm.
being of the witches? And then,
Mhm.
really, whatever you do is just an expression of that. So, there is something central, but it's not going to be something as tangible and as left-brained as like here's the particular actions.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be expressed as agreements as well, but it's really something more fundamental than even agreements.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, okay, this is who we are, this is what we stand for.
Yeah.
This is the field that we're creating here.
Mm.
And if you're not game for this, then like you're not part of the group. Like it does create a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's creating a bigger thing with more impact.
Yeah.
And that thing gets to figure out how to interact with what's outside of that thing. Like, how do the witches interact with non-witches?
Mm-hmm. Burn them!
and 8 billion women were burned at the stake. The witches won.
Oh, yeah, it'll only be like 4 billion. There are a lot of underground witches.
There's a lot of witches. Like, I'm not sure if it's half the women.
Yeah, maybe
Depends
10%.
on how you define witch.
Right. Oh, cool. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's a next step?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I'm talking to Tia, like, pretty soon. I'm talking to her later tonight. Talking to my friend Erica, I'm talking to Joanna, all of whom have fire in this direction. So, I mean, like, practical next step is, like, I see my friend Catherine this weekend. I'm seeing a lot of women in the upcoming days who, like, I would wanna have these conversations with. So, I mean, practically, it's like talk to them and just be like, "Here's some of what I'm feeling," like, and, like, I think bring more of the question of, like, yeah, like, how does change happen? And, like, no, like, for real, what if we gathered the witches? And, like, what yeah, just, like, being like, and kinda, like, starting to, like, feel and get more of a feel for, like, know who's actually interested in this. Not like, "Oh, that's a nice idea. Yeah, tell me when it's," when there's a thing to
Yeah.
join, and then if that's the case, cool, but just, like, who's yeah, like, who's feeling something similar and probably, like yeah, I think it's just, like, being in the conversation starts one-on-one, being in more
Yeah. And what comes to mind, because there's like the intention to change the world. What's the gift that the group has for the world?
Mm.
Like, okay, we've gathered and we have this for you.
Mm. Mhm.
That is an inquiry.
Mhm. I like that. Yeah, I mean, I always listen back to our recordings, but I'm gonna listen back and, like, particularly for some of these questions you brought, and, like, gather some of them and start a note or something just so, like, like, keep coming back to it. Maybe I'll make it a tiny habit too for a while, like a daily, just to make sure I'm, like, like, checking in. Like,
Yeah.
what does this thing want from me today? Just, like, the little bit in that direction, which then, of course, like, it beautifully serves client creation because it's just me connecting with people. Like, it all works out.
Yeah, you're out there like changing the world. Suddenly all these women want to work with you.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, and I do think I'm just, like, seeing yeah, there might be, like, a nice natural filtering that happens if I'm also giving time in this I just keep hearing, "Gather the witches!" I don't know who said that, maybe just I said it in my head, but I really like it.
Uh-huh.
Witches, in this, like, gather the witches direction, then the bar of, like, people I wanna work with gets even
Mm-hmm.
higher. Like, I can just feel the natural filtering of, like, okay, who do I even wanna because I feel the pull of it, like, the soul calling kinda like,
Mm-hmm.
"What are you? What am I supposed to do? I don't know, but okay." Something in this direction, supporting something here. Um, yeah, like a natural filtering of aliveness, how inspired I am by someone, how engaged they are, like the kind of influence and impact they're wanting to have in the world and on their own lives. Yeah.
Yeah. Powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also like getting clear on, in addition to like raising the bar, being clear on what you have for them.
Mm.
And that's probably going to be part of the being of the group as well.
Mm.
Like, what do you see that it's really important that they see
Mm.
in order to be part of this group?
Mm.
Because if it's like you kind of versus a bunch of other perspectives,
Mm-hmm.
then it's probably not the group that you're thinking of.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, where are you willing to be totally wrong to be part of a group?
Mm. Mm.
Which I know the rigid loves.
My favorite thing ever. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm with all these other people. They have all these different thoughts, and they're all wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Wasn't expecting to go here.
Awesome. Gather the witches.
Gather the witches. Oh, I'm really delighted by this. Gather the witches. just like, thank you, Life Brain, for giving me that. That's really helpful. Brings levity.
There's got to be just like some really fun events that you'll end up creating with this.
It's so good.
Gather the witches to change the world.
Mm-hmm.
You get to teach them the difference between reacting and creating.
Right. Uh-huh. Yeah. Mm.
Nice. All right.
Mm. Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear what happens next.
Me too. Who knows? Who knows where this crazy human's going to lead us?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. See you soon.
All right. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
What is Kellic?
That's my original online name. So I got like Kellic.com, even like out of university. Kellic was an evil wizard in a Dungeons and Dragons cartoon.
Of course he was. Oh, that's
So
wonderful.
whenever
You're
I was
great.
first signing online, as like 13 or 14 years old, I had Kellic as my username.
And you still have that email that you send your calendar invites from. That is so delightful.
Yep, that's my Gmail address.
And it still feels very energetically appropriate.
I'm a wizard.
He's a wizard.